Before we begin, take 1 second to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, because the small coins you ignored for decades could be hiding stories and values that most people never discover until it's too late. Now imagine this for a moment. A tiny copper coin, barely worth anything when it was made, passed through countless hands, pockets, wallets, and drawers. It bought nothing special. It was ignored, forgotten, and eventually dismissed as useless. But history has a strange way of turning ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures, and today we are talking about one of those objects, the one Pfennig 1985 Germany coin. If you grew up in Europe, or even followed European history closely, you already know that Germany's coins are more than money. They are witnesses. They survived political shifts, economic challenges, reunifications, and changing generations. The one Pfennig coin from 1985 was minted at a time when West Germany was stable, disciplined, and economically strong, yet quietly approaching one of the biggest historical changes the world would ever see. Back in 1985, no one thought this small coin would ever matter. It was light, simple, and often left behind in ashtrays, jars, or old purses. People joked that it wasn't even worth bending down to pick it up. And that attitude is exactly why many of these coins disappeared, damaged, or were melted down over time. The design of the one Pfennig is modest, but that simplicity is what collectors respect. The oak twig with leaves is not just decoration. It represents endurance, strength, and German heritage. For men who appreciate history, discipline, and legacy, this symbol speaks louder than gold-plated designs. It reflects a nation that rebuilt itself carefully, step by step, just like the value of this coin slowly building over decades. The year 1985 is important. It sits in a quiet window of German history, before the fall of the Berlin Wall, before reunification, and before the Deutschmark became a symbol of nostalgia and trust. Coins from this period were produced in large numbers, yes, but not all survived in good condition. And condition is where everything changes. Most people only remember using these coins. Very few preserve them. Even fewer protected them from scratches, corrosion, and wear. Over time, circulation destroyed millions of pieces. What remains today are select survivors, coins that avoided heavy use, coins that sat untouched, coins that were stored unknowingly by someone who never imagined their future importance. For collectors aged 55 and above, this coin connects emotionally. It reminds them of a working life, a growing family, a stable economy, and simpler transactions. That emotional connection increases demand, and demand is the heartbeat of value. But here is where things get truly interesting. Not all one Pfennig 1985 coins are equal. Some are struck more cleanly than others. Some came from specific mints with subtle differences that the untrained I would miss completely. Slight spacing variations, metal tone differences, sharper details, and near-perfect preservation separate a common coin from a collector's dream. There are also rare examples with striking anomalies, off-center impressions, unusual metal flow, or production irregularities that were never meant to leave the mint. These mistakes were once considered defects. Today, they're seen as fingerprints of history. Men who collect coins seriously understand one thing. Rarity is not always about low mintage. It is about survival. A coin that should not exist in perfect condition decades later becomes rare simply because time failed to destroy it. Many people today still have old jars, boxes, and drawers filled with coins inherited from parents or grandparents. Inside those forgotten collections could be a one Pfennig 1985 coin that has never seen real circulation. No scratches, no discoloration, nowhere on the oak leaves. A coin like that immediately enters a different category. This is why collectors are now paying attention. As modern currencies move digital and cash disappears, nostalgia grows stronger. Coins like the Pfennig represent a physical connection to trust, labor, and value you could hold in your hand. For older generations, especially, this is not just collecting, it is preserving memory. The market for historical European coins has changed dramatically. International collectors, private investors, and heritage buyers are searching for coins that tell a story without needing explanation. The one Pfennig 1985 does exactly that. It tells a story of stability before change, of quiet strength before transformation. What shocks many people is how overlooked this coin still is. While everyone chases gold and silver, seasoned collectors quietly search through copper pieces, knowing that history, not metal, drives long-term value. If you own this coin, the worst thing you can do is clean it. Cleaning destroys original surfaces and removes the very details collectors want. Age, when preserved naturally, is not damage. It is proof. The smartest collectors treat coins like documents, not objects. They protect them, study them, and wait. Value does not come from noise. It comes from patience. And patience is something your generation understands very well. As years pass, fewer untouched examples remain. Collections get broken, coins get lost, and demand quietly rises. This is how a coin moves from pocket change to serious conversation. Some collectors already consider top condition one Pfennig 1985 coins as long-term legacy pieces. Not for quick selling, but for passing down. Something that tells a grandson or granddaughter, this mattered once, and it still matters now. And now we come to the part that surprises almost everyone. Under exceptional circumstances, flawless condition, extreme rarity factors, historical importance, and high-level collector competition, the estimated top-tier value of a one Pfennig 1985 Germany coin can reach $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. Not every coin, not the worn ones, not the scratched ones, but the rare survivors that history forgot to destroy. So before you dismiss that small copper coin, look again. Examine it carefully, because sometimes the smallest coin carries the heaviest legacy. And that is why you should never underestimate the power of a forgotten Pfennig.